Actually, I've known Lucille Ball, man and boy, for over 20 years. And during that time, I consider the years I spent on I Love Lucy.
Vivian Vance may forever be remembered as the hilarious and loyal Ethel Mertz. But behind the iconic sitcom smiles and timeless one-liners was a life filled with ambition, struggle, and a fierce determination to rise above the odds. From her rebellious small-town beginnings to her complicated off-screen relationships, Vance's story is one of resilience, rivalry, and the hidden truths that shaped the golden age of television. Early life. Vance was born in Cherryvale, Kansas, as the second of 6 children to Robert Andrew Jones, Sr., and Euphemia May Reagan Jones. When she was 6, her family relocated to Independence, Kansas. It was there that she discovered her passion for acting, studying drama at Independence High School with her teacher, Anna Engelman. But her love for the stage didn't sit well with her mother, whose strict religious beliefs clashed with Vance's ambitions. Determined to follow her dreams, Vance began to rebel. She often sneaked out of her house and stayed out past curfew. Eventually, she adopted the surname Vance and left for Albuquerque, New Mexico, to pursue acting opportunities. In 1930, she performed in the opening production of the Albuquerque Little Theater. This marked the start of her career, and she went on to appear in several plays, including This Thing Called Love and The Cradle Song. The theater community in Albuquerque recognized her talent and rallied behind her, helping to fund her journey to New York City. There, she continued her training under the renowned Eva Le Gallienne, setting the stage for her future success. Career. Vance's Broadway journey began in 1932, where she performed in several productions, mostly as a chorus member. Over time, she earned bigger opportunities, including understudying Ethel Merman in Anything Goes as Reno Sweeney. Years later, she and Merman reunited in an episode of The Lucy Show, a nostalgic nod to their shared history. Her big break came when she took over Kate Thompson's role in the musical Hooray for What in 1937. But her standout performance was as Nancy Collister in the Cole Porter musical Let's Face It, 1941. Starring alongside Danny Kaye and Eve Arden, she dazzled audiences for an impressive 547 performances. In 1947, after starring in a revival of The Cradle Will Rock, Vance shifted her focus to California, hoping to broaden her career. While in Los Angeles, she appeared in 2 films, as the tough chambermaid Leah in The Secret Fury, 1950, and as Alicia in The Blue Veil, 1951. Although critics praised her work, these roles didn't significantly boost her film career. Later, after leaving The Lucy Show at the end of its 3rd season, Vance joined the cast of Blake Edwards' The Great Race, 1965. She saw it as a chance to revive her film career, which had yet to reach its potential. The movie, a light-hearted adventure, achieved moderate success and even earned a few Academy Award nominations. But it wasn't the breakthrough she had hoped for. I Love Lucy. Vance's time on Broadway wasn't easy. She often found herself in smaller roles, cast as a 2nd or 3rd lead. Her luck in film wasn't much better, with only 4 movies to her name. But everything changed one night in 1951. She was performing in a Laguna Beach production of The Voice of the Turtle when television director Mark Daniels attended the show. He was accompanied by film star Desi Arnaz, scouting talent for a new TV project. Their mission? To find someone who could play opposite Arnaz's wife, Lucille Ball, in a fresh comedy series. Vance landed the role, and her life transformed overnight. She became Ethel Mertz, one of television's most beloved sidekicks in I Love Lucy. Her performance earned her recognition as the first-ever recipient of the Emmy Award for Supporting Actress. During the show's run, she received 3 more nominations, solidifying her place in television history. However, the partnership with Ball wasn't without its share of rumors. Stories swirled about a supposed contract clause requiring Vance to look older than Ball, a detail later dismissed as a joke. But one thing wasn't up for debate. Ball insisted Vance appear less glamorous than her. Despite this, Ball valued Vance immensely, recognizing her as a crucial part of the show's success. She worked hard to keep Vance happy and involved in future projects. Still, Vance had her limits. When offered a significant raise to rejoin Ball on another project, she turned it down. She didn't want to return as a sidekick. She wanted to be Ball's equal. It was a bold decision, showing that Vance wasn't just a supporting actress. She was determined to define her career on her own terms. When Vance made the decision to leave television, it forced Ball to step back as well. Ball understood that the magic of Lucy Ricardo wouldn't work without Ethel Mertz by her side. Audiences simply didn't want Lucy without her loyal best friend. On I Love Lucy, Vance played Ethel, Lucy's quirky and dependable neighbor. Her on-screen husband, Fred Mertz, was portrayed by William Frawley. However, behind the scenes, Vance and Frawley couldn't stand each other. When Desi Arnaz proposed a spin-off series focused on Fred and Ethel, Vance flat out refused. There was no way she'd work with Frawley again. The show itself was groundbreaking, capturing the hearts of viewers across the country. It set a new standard for sitcoms, especially in its portrayal of relationships. The Ricardos, Lucy and Ricky, were not only the main couple on screen, but were also married in real life. Alongside their neighbors and friends, Ethel and Fred, they created comedy gold, delighting fans with their antics. Ethel was Lucy's steadfast partner in crime, always willing to join her in wild schemes. Despite the chaos, she often served as the voice of reason, balancing out Lucy's unpredictable nature. Meanwhile, Fred, the miserly landlord with a grumpy demeanor, provided his own brand of humor. Together, Ethel and Fred became essential to the show's charm, despite their contrasting personalities. The connection between the two couples became the heart of I Love Lucy. Their bond was so central to the story that Fred and Ethel eventually moved into Lucy and Ricky's guest house, keeping the hilarious dynamics alive. It was this close-knit relationship that made the show a timeless classic, beloved by generations. During the later seasons of I Love Lucy, when Lucy and Ricky moved to the countryside, Fred and Ethel played a big role in their lives. They even helped take care of Lucy's chickens, adding to the show's comedic charm. But behind the scenes, tensions between Vivian Vance and William Frawley were growing worse. Although they initially got along, their working relationship began to deteriorate as the show became more popular. Vance reportedly felt insulted by how easily audiences accepted her as Frawley's on-screen wife. She often referred to him dismissively as "that old man." Privately, she expressed frustration about the pairing, claiming it was unbelievable. Vance even joked that she'd be more convincing as Frawley's daughter than his wife, given their 22-year age difference. Frawley didn't take kindly to these remarks. When he heard about Vance's complaints, he was deeply offended. In response, he frequently directed sharp insults at her while they were on set. Their mutual dislike became an open secret, and their barbed interactions only added to the tension between them. Despite the animosity, their real-life disdain translated surprisingly well on screen. The friction between Fred and Ethel became a cornerstone of their characters, bringing an added layer of humor to the show. It was a case where art imitated life, with their off-screen clashes fueling the comedic magic that fans adored. The feud between Vivian Vance and William Frawley became infamous, Yet it also fueled some of the funniest moments on I Love Lucy. Their constant bickering, both on and off the set, made it increasingly difficult to work together. Whenever Vance suggested tweaks to the script or additional lines, Frawley flat out refused to cooperate. The animosity between them was no secret. They openly disliked each other and never attempted to hide it. Even after the show ended, their bitter relationship persisted. In fact, when Frawley passed away, Vance reportedly celebrated. She was having dinner with her husband when she heard the news, and she raised her glass, declaring, "Champagne for everyone." Despite their well-known rivalry in Hollywood circles, the tension rarely spilled over into their performances. On screen, they convincingly played a loving couple. Except when the script called for friction, which came naturally given their real-life dynamic. Many believe the conflict wasn't entirely Vance's fault. Frawley's reputation for difficult behavior likely contributed to the ongoing hostility. In truth, Frawley wasn't an easy person to be around. His gruff personality on the show wasn't just acting, it was an exaggerated version of his real-life demeanor. While their off-screen feud was legendary, it ironically added authenticity to their roles, turning their contentious dynamic into comedic gold for audiences. Off-screen, William Frawley was just as gruff and no-nonsense as his on-screen persona. His personal life was far from glamorous. He endured a failed marriage, struggled with heavy drinking, and spent much of his life in a modest bachelor apartment. His drinking became such a concern that Desi Arnaz made him promise never to show up drunk or miss work before they began filming I Love Lucy. To his credit, Frawley stuck to that promise. Frawley's professional life often mirrored his personal struggles. Success in his career was frequently followed by fallouts with colleagues, a pattern that likely contributed to his rocky relationship with Vivian Vance. By the time he was cast as Fred Mertz, Frawley's reputation in the industry had taken a hit. Many saw him as difficult and unreliable. Landing the role on I Love Lucy became a turning point, reviving his career at a time when few were willing to work with him. After the show's success, there was talk of a spin-off featuring Fred and Ethel. However, Vance refused to work with Frawley again. She'd had enough of their toxic dynamic and wanted to move on. Meanwhile, Frawley found a second wind in his career, landing a role on the hit sitcom My Three Sons. But even then, the animosity between him and Vance lingered. Rumor has it that he continued to antagonize her whenever their paths crossed at the studio. In stark contrast, Vance shared a special bond with Lucille Ball. Their connection was entirely different, built on mutual respect and a genuine friendship. While her feud with Frawley grabbed headlines, her relationship with Ball remains a testament to the enduring partnerships that shaped I Love Lucy into a cultural phenomenon. Lucille Ball had her fair share of critiques when it came to Vivian Vance, especially early on. One memorable incident involved Vance's fake eyelashes. Ball reportedly ripped them off her face, declaring that she was the only one allowed to wear dramatic lashes on set. Despite moments like this, the two developed a friendship both on-screen and off that would last for decades. However, their closeness caused tension in Vance's personal life. Her husband, Philip Ober, grew jealous of their bond and fed into Hollywood gossip, telling Vance that people were spreading rumors she was a lesbian. The comment deeply unsettled her, especially given her conservative nature, and she sought therapy to cope with the accusations. Despite this strain, Ball and Vance's friendship only grew stronger. Meeting on the set of I Love Lucy in the 1950s, they formed a bond that extended well beyond the show's run. Their lives often mirrored each other in surprising ways. For instance, Ball decided to end her 20-year marriage around the same time Vance was divorcing Ober. Their shared experiences seemed to strengthen their connection, even when disagreements arose. Like any close friends, they had their arguments, once going days without speaking. But unlike Vance's tumultuous relationship with William Frawley, she and Ball always found their way back to each other. Their partnership continued with the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, which wrapped in 1960. Even after the production ended, their friendship endured. Tragically, it was cut short when Vance passed away from cancer in 1979. Ball stayed by her side, supporting her lifelong friend until just days before her passing, a testament to the enduring bond they shared. The Lucy Show and later works. In 1962, Lucille Ball was preparing for her grand return to television with a new series, The Lucy Show. The show featured Ball as Lucy Carmichael, a widowed mother of two living in the fictional town of Danfield, New York. To ensure its success, Ball knew she needed a strong co-star and convinced Vivian Vance to join her. However, Vance had reservations. After years of being typecast as Ethel Mertz, she was tired of the role following her everywhere. She reluctantly agreed to appear in the new show, but only on her terms. Her character would be named Vivian, and she would finally get to wear more stylish, glamorous clothes. By this point, Vance was eager to break free from the public's constant association of her with Ethel. She wanted people to see her as something more than Lucy Ricardo's sidekick. Her dynamic with Ball remained strong, and together they brought a fresh energy to The Lucy Show, delighting audiences once again. After leaving The Lucy Show, Vance didn't completely step away from television. She continued to appear occasionally alongside Ball in reunion specials, maintaining the iconic comedic partnership that fans adored. She also made guest appearances on Ball's third sitcom, Here's Lucy, 1968 to 1974, proving their chemistry remained unmatched. During this period, Vance's career took on new dimensions. In 1973, she signed a deal with Maxwell House Coffee, becoming the face of their commercials. These ads were well received, allowing her to remain in the public eye even as her acting roles became less frequent. Sadly, in the same year, Vance was diagnosed with breast cancer. Despite her health struggles, she continued to work, appearing in several television guest spots and TV movies throughout the 1970s. Her credits included an episode of Rhoda in 1975 and films like The Front Page, 1970, Getting Away from It All, 1972, and The Great Houdini, 1976. One of the most poignant moments of her later career came in 1977 when she reunited with Ball for a CBS special, Lucy Calls the President. It was their final on-screen collaboration, and it brought back memories of their years of making audiences laugh together. Vance's health continued to decline, but she remained active as long as she could, leaving behind a legacy of resilience, humor, and unforgettable performances. Personal life. Vivian Vance was married 4 times, each relationship reflecting a different chapter of her life. Her first 3 marriages ended in divorce, but her third marriage, to actor Philip Ober, lasted 18 years. Despite its length, the relationship was far from happy. Rumors swirled that Ober was physically abusive toward Vance, driven by jealousy over her flourishing career. While Vance was finding success and adoration as a beloved comedic actress, her personal life behind closed doors was marred by tension and unhappiness. On January 16, 1961, Vance entered a new phase of her life when she married literary agent, editor, and publisher John Dodds. Unlike her previous relationships, her marriage to Dodds seemed to provide her with the stability and companionship she had long sought. The couple initially settled in Stamford, Connecticut, enjoying a quieter life away from the Hollywood spotlight. In 1974, they relocated to California, where they remained together until Vance's death in 1979. Vance's life came to a tragic end at the age of 70, when she succumbed to metastatic breast cancer on August 17, 1979. Her passing left a profound impact on those who knew her, including her former co-stars. Desi Arnaz paid her a heartfelt tribute, saying, "It's bad enough to lose one of the great artists we had the honor and the pleasure to work with, but it's even harder to reconcile the loss of one of your best friends." Arnaz's words captured not only her talent, but the deep friendships she had built throughout her life. In honor of her contributions to the arts, Vance's family donated her Emmy Award to the Albuquerque Little Theater, where her acting career first began. The gesture symbolized a full-circle moment, connecting her remarkable success to her humble beginnings. Her legacy lived on through her work and the fond memories of her peers. Lucille Ball, her longtime friend and comedic partner, often reflected on Vance's brilliance. In a 1986 interview, Ball spoke about watching I Love Lucy reruns and how she now had the chance to fully appreciate Vance's performances. "I find that now I usually spend my time looking at Viv. Viv was sensational. And back then, there were things I had to do. I was in the projection room for some reason, and I just couldn't concentrate on it. But now I can, and I enjoy every move that Viv made. She was something." Vance's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, located at 7030 Hollywood Boulevard, stands as a testament to her enduring impact on television history. Vivian Vance's legacy continues to be celebrated long after her passing. On February 14, 1991, she was posthumously honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, located at 7030 Hollywood Boulevard. This recognition cemented her place in television history and acknowledged her contributions to the golden age of sitcoms. In Jamestown, New York, Vance is memorialized at the Lucille Ball Desi Arnaz Center, where fans can learn more about her life and career. Her personal story gained new depth in 2010, when the San Francisco Chronicle reported that an antique dealer had inherited a treasure trove of Vance's personal items. These included photos, scrapbooks, and even the manuscript of her unpublished autobiography, left behind after her husband John Dodds passed away in 1986. In March 2012, both Vance and her on-screen partner William Frawley were inducted into the Television Academy Hall of Fame. This honor recognized their iconic roles on I Love Lucy and their lasting impact on television comedy. The fascinating story of how Vance was cast as Ethel Mertz was brought to life in I Love Lucy. A funny thing happened on the way to the sitcom. Written by Greg Oppenheimer, the son of I Love Lucy creator Jess Oppenheimer. The stage comedy premiered in Los Angeles on July 12, 2018. It was recorded before a live audience for public radio and later distributed online, offering fans a behind-the-scenes look at the creation of one of TV's most beloved characters. Vance's story has also been portrayed on screen. In 1991, Robin Pearson Rose played her in the television movie Lucy and Desi, Before the Laughter. More recently, Tony-winning actress Nina Arianda brought her to life in the 2021 film Being the Ricardos, introducing her remarkable legacy to a new generation of viewers. Through these tributes, both on stage and screen, Vance's contributions to entertainment remain as vibrant and relevant as ever, ensuring her comedic genius continues to inspire audiences worldwide.